This wasn't a flashy launch or a viral demo. Microsoft quietly released something far more dangerous. It's called FARA, and it changes who controls the future of AI. OpenAI felt this one immediately. Welcome back to NeuroWire Signal, where we break down the real power shifts in AI before they hit the mainstream. If you want signal instead of noise, like the video and subscribe, it directly supports this channel. Today we're unpacking Microsoft's newest move, FARA. Because this isn't just a new AI system, it's a strategic pressure point aimed straight at OpenAI. Why FARA didn't get a loud announcement? When companies know they're releasing something truly disruptive, they don't always shout about it. They whisper. Microsoft didn't market FARA as a revolution. There was no consumer hype, no dramatic stage reveal, no viral tagline. Instead, FARA appeared quietly inside technical briefings, enterprise documentation, and partner ecosystems. That silence was intentional. FARA isn't meant to impress users. It's meant to reshape leverage. What FARA actually is. At its core, FARA is not a chatbot, it's not a general assistant, and it's definitely not trying to compete with ChatGPT on personality or conversation. FARA is an AI reasoning and orchestration system designed to sit underneath applications, not on top of them. It focuses on long horizon reasoning, tool orchestration, agent coordination, enterprise-grade reliability. In other words, FARA isn't here to talk. It's here to run things. Why Microsoft built FARA at all? Microsoft already has deep access to OpenAI models. It already integrates GPT across Azure, Copilot, Office, and enterprise tools. Relying entirely on OpenAI for core reasoning creates a strategic bottleneck, and Microsoft doesn't build bottlenecks into its future. FARA exists to decouple Microsoft's intelligence layer from OpenAI's roadmap. That alone explains everything. The subtle shift from model power to system power. For the past few years, the AI race looked like a model race. Bigger models, smarter models, more parameters. FARA signals a shift away from that framing. Microsoft is betting that systems matter more than models. If you control orchestration, memory, planning, and execution, you can swap models underneath without losing capability. That's an uncomfortable truth for any model-first company, including OpenAI. Why FARA feels like an invisible rival? OpenAI competes in public. Benchmarks, leaderboards, releases. FARA doesn't. It lives inside workflows, infrastructure, and enterprise logic. It doesn't need to be better at conversation, it needs to be better at coordination. And coordination is where most AI systems still struggle. That's the pressure point. What makes FARA different from a typical agent framework? Plenty of companies talk about AI agents. Most of them are brittle. They fail when tasks span long timelines. They hallucinate tool usage. They lose state. FARA was designed explicitly to avoid those failures. It emphasizes constraint handling, verification loops, and execution discipline. Instead of improvising, it plans. Instead of guessing, it validates. That makes it boring. And boring systems run the world. Why enterprises care more than consumers? Consumers want personality. Enterprises want predictability. FARA is built for environments where mistakes cost money, compliance violations matter, and downtime is unacceptable. It integrates deeply with Azure services, enterprise APIs, identity systems, and governance layers. Why this puts real pressure on OpenAI? OpenAI's strength is model excellence. But models alone don't own workflows. If Microsoft controls the orchestration layer, the place where decisions are made, tools are invoked, and outcomes are enforced, OpenAI risks becoming one component among many. That's a dangerous position for a company whose value is centered on model dominance. The power shift most people missed. Here's the subtle but critical shift. OpenAI sells intelligence. Microsoft sells control. FARA gives Microsoft leverage over how intelligence is used, routed, constrained, and audited. That means even if OpenAI builds the smartest model in the world, Microsoft can decide when it's used, how it's used, what it's allowed to do. When it's overridden, that's real power. Why this isn't a breakup yet? This doesn't mean Microsoft is abandoning OpenAI. It means Microsoft is future-proofing. FARA allows Microsoft to integrate OpenAI models today, swap in competitors tomorrow, and insert internal models whenever needed without rewriting its entire AI stack. That flexibility is priceless, and it changes the balance of the partnership. Why OpenAI can't ignore this? OpenAI has its own agent ambitions, its own tools, its own execution frameworks. But Microsoft owns the distribution. Windows, Office, Azure, Enterprise IT. If FARA becomes the default orchestration layer across those environments, OpenAI must either integrate deeply or risk being sidelined in execution-heavy use cases. That's pressure whether anyone admits it or not. The quiet competition nobody talks about. Publicly, Microsoft and OpenAI remain aligned. Privately, incentives diverge. OpenAI wants to push frontier intelligence. Microsoft wants stability, control, and scale. FARA reflects Microsoft's priorities, not OpenAI's. Why this mirrors past tech power shifts. In operating systems, hardware makers lost power to software platforms. In cloud computing, software lost power to infrastructure providers. Now in AI, models are losing power to orchestration layers. FARA is Microsoft positioning itself where value concentrates next. Why better models aren't enough anymore. A model can reason brilliantly and still be useless in production. Without state management, error recovery, auditability, security, tool governance, intelligence becomes fragile. FARA exists to make intelligence boring, reliable, and controllable. That's how technology wins long-term. Why developers should pay attention. Developers often chase the smartest model. But in real systems, the smartest component rarely controls the architecture. If FARA becomes the default way AI agents operate inside Microsoft's ecosystem, developers will build around it, not around individual models. Why this is a strategic hedge against AGI uncertainty. No one knows which lab will reach AGI first, or what AGI will even look like. Microsoft doesn't need to win that race. It just needs to own the container AGI runs in. FARA is that container. Whether the intelligence comes from OpenAI, Anthropic, DeepSeek, or internal research becomes secondary. That's a powerful position. Why OpenAI's independence narrative gets complicated. OpenAI increasingly talks about independence, safety, and mission alignment. FARA complicates that narrative. If OpenAI's models are deployed primarily through Microsoft-controlled systems, true independence becomes fuzzy even without explicit control. FARA isn't exciting in demos, but it's decisive in deployment. Those are the technologies that shape decades. Microsoft didn't build FARA to compete, it built it to control. And control is the rarest asset in the AI era. If this breakdown helped you see the real shift happening behind the scenes, like the video and subscribe to NeuroWire Signal. Because the future of AI won't be decided by who's smartest, but by who decides how intelligence is used.